Good afternoon. This is Grand Thumb Farms here on Elm Creek 25, doing the Neapolitan Challenge, Cereal Tycoon Edition. It is January in the afternoon. I left you in November, and I started feeling like I wasn't going to be able to remember everything, so we came back because there's a couple of things that I wanted to share before we got through the winter. In November, after I left, I did that big harvest. I believe it was the sunflower harvest that I talked about. I believe I did a big cultivating harvest, and I didn't capture that one, and I may have done another cultivating harvest. It's all running together. I didn't take very good notes, or not as good a notes as I wanted to. Anyway, the big thing is, though, I did the yard work at the farm, and I put in a new shed, and I'll let you see that before we go on, and then we'll come back and I'll kind of show you the reason why we came back when we did. In December, I cultivated the plowed sugar beet field, and the area where I plowed to repair the rice field. And we had our morning sales, which, if I remember correctly, were pretty good. Actually, they've all been pretty good. And the weather's been great this winter so far, although it is supposed to snow today. But I did a deadwood contract to replenish the sawmill, and I believe I did a bale wrapping contract, a plowing contract, and I believe 3 cultivating contracts in December. and it's now January, and we had our morning sales. I set the rice saplings to selling. I believe we have enough rice saplings. And I did a couple of cultivating contracts. And now I'm doing this small plowing contract. I wanted to show you the gravel lot and the shed that I put in at the yard without being there. We'll pop back over there in just a minute so you can see it up close. And if I remember correctly, I spent pretty good money on it. I wasn't paying attention to how much I was spending. I was just kind of messing around with it. And it's not finished. It's not as good as I want it to be. But when I buy that big grass field, I'll be able to change it up quite a bit. The main reason I wanted to come back, I happened to look in the used equipment sales, and I saw something that's going to kind of change what my plans were. My intention was to buy a little field, and since we had a planter, I was going to plant corn and then get the harvester with a corn header. But lo and behold, when I opened up the used sales, well, there's a case harvester, which I am going to get a case, but it's not going to be this case. This one's too big. But there's a seeder for half price, which is a good price. It's a lot less than any other seeder that we could buy right now. And this header actually goes on the harvester that I'm looking to get, which is this axial flow 7160 with the wide tires. So this is the harvester I was planning to get. It's $310,000 with those tires on it, whereas this used one, it's about $60,000 more, but it's just a whole lot of harvester. It may be a mistake getting this one or not getting this one when I could. I don't need to buy the harvester for several months, but I can get this header, this seeder, and a header trailer and the land without borrowing any money. The reason I brought you back was because I didn't want to miss out on the sale of them. So this is a 3-meter seeder. It'll be tough when we have a little bit bigger fields, but it's something we can afford because we still have a whole lot of money to spend, especially because we need to buy not only the cereal factory, but the cow shed so that we can get milk, cow's milk. So I'm going to go ahead and buy this seeder. I've never used it. And I'm going to buy this header. So this is the trailer for the header. I'll just get it as it is. I don't think I need to. It's free. I can paint it. There you go. I'll be a little fancy. How's that? Another $10,000. All we have to do now is buy the harvester and the corn header, and we have all the necessary equipment. I guess a stone picker, if I could get one of those on sale, that would be pretty handy. I think they're about $50,000, $56,000. If I was to catch that on sale, I'd probably get that. That's what I wanted to bring you back in. That's our new equipment. I'm going to finish plowing this field. We'll pick up our new equipment and go check out the farmyard to see what we did up close and personal. This is our new seeder. It doesn't hold fertilizer, but that'll be fine. And our new grain header with a very fancy trailer. That I wish I could lock these wheels. I can't imagine there's actually a lock on them. Doesn't look like it. And I imagine they're great for driving around, but when it comes to backing them in, They turn together. So it makes it very difficult. I don't know if it would be easier to back them in or to do it this way, but usually pulling the trailer in forward is easier than backwards. I guess I could give it a shot. Well, that's not something I'm going to subject anybody to more than just this once. My goodness. One day I need just to practice. I don't have nearly that much problem actually backing trailers, but for some reason I just can't seem to do it in this game. Well, we still need to purchase property, but I'm going to hold off until it's actually time. This is the new shed. Once we buy this field over here, I'll extend this shelf out a little bit and blend it all together and end up having a driveway down to the highway. I can't do anything beyond what's been done here. In my head, it's going to look good. But anyway, I'm going to get through February. There's supposed to be snow this afternoon. In February, it's supposed to snow some. I think March is going to be okay. That's when we start planting. But I wanted to be able to purchase these pieces of equipment while they were still available in the sales, and we'll be back after a while. Maybe something else good will come up between now and March. We will see. Good morning. We made it through the winter, and it actually wasn't a very bad winter. I didn't even have to shovel any snow this year. We had snow until this morning, but it never did pile up. Morning, goats. There's some fresh water for you. We got 2 new babies in the cow pen. I was all loaded up and we had another mushroom spawn, so I'm gonna grab that. We'll go sell off our goods, and on the way back from the warehouse, I'm going to pick up a couple of pallets of fertilizer because I'm kind of running low. We also got, if you can hear me, we also got our first pallet of cement bricks. My goodness, that's loud. I think I'm going to hold on to those because this production is just too close to home. If I'm able to keep it stocked, I may put it somewhere else, or I'll just turn it off for a while until I move away from here, because it is loud. I'm gonna load this up and then we'll head out for the sales. Once we get done selling stuff, we'll start our planting. We've got oats and sugar beets to plant this month, and we're actually gonna split our rice in half Next month when I plant rice, I'm only going to plant it in one field, and I'll plant the long grain rice in the other field. I had to fill up the hog feeders a couple of times during the winter. It actually looks like they're low now. Maybe not. No, they're okay. But these two fields are the ones that I'm gonna purchase. Field 96. I'm gonna buy $20,160 and 97 for $31,000. And I believe this year I'm gonna plant. Well, it's got sugar beets growing in it already. Huh. And wheat growing in the other one. Maybe I'll just put the oats in the, what was the sugar beet field? I didn't consider that. Let me get the soil information. More poor land. Well, it's got sugar beets in it. I guess I'll just keep the wheat and plant oats. Kind of changed my thinking today. Oh well, I just got to learn to roll with it. Let's get this stuff sold. Over $13,000. And just over $4,000. This field here is ready to mow. Actually, it's not ready to mow. Next month. And our grapes are looking good. They're not ready to be mulched yet. We're good there. But they are growing. I can use the wheat in the flour mill, so I may as well just keep that. It just needs fertilizer. And I'll plant oats in that other field. I'm going to grab this wood and take it down to the warehouse. Maybe I'll come up with a good idea. I think I might have a plan. Another $4,000. I'll take it. So what I'm considering is buying another piece of land, going ahead and planting corn this year. Along with buying the harvester, I'd have to get a corn header. That's about $375,000. I just made the signs faint. I'll have to think about that for another minute. I thought it was going to be simple this morning. Busy but simple. And I didn't buy any fertilizer. Dang it. Okay, I'm gonna go do that. I'd like 2 bags of fertilizer, please. Thank you. This month doesn't have a whole lot of contracts as of yet. I don't know if it's going to increase throughout the day or not. I really don't want to deplete all my money this month. Maybe I'll wait till next month before I make the big decision. Be nice to have one of these around the yard. All right, back to the farm. And we'll plant our little bitty field of oats. I believe I've figured out what I'm going to do. I am going to plant my oats in this field. Then I'm going to lime the new sugar beet field. I'm going to go purchase a fertilizer sprayer for liquid fertilizer, and I'll fertilize these fields. I think that's a pretty good plan. I need to unfold. Not a whole lot unfolding, but it's unfolded. Start it up. And here we go. And I wonder if that's a weeder on the back. And if so, does it work? Okay. Plant, lime, fertilize. We'll see how it goes. I really can't help myself with those lines. Makes me so sad. I thought I missed a spot up here, but it looks like it's okay. Maybe I missed a spot down there. It'll be fine. And it does need nitrogen. Okay. There's nothing in the used vehicle sale for me. I'm going to purchase this tank for $2,500 and this spreader. I'm not going to get a weed seeker right now because it's $30,000. I'll wait till we have weeds before I get that, but I will get Oats width modulation for $12,000. I'll get that. All right. Getting our little Benton Xylon and grab our new weed seeker. No. Oats width modulation sprayer and get these 3 fields fertilized. Well, I have to say, I kind of like this sprayer. That's a neat little trick. I have all the fields fertilized. One field needs lime, and I suppose I could roll them too. I don't know that rolling is part of precision farming or not. I'll have to look at the field that I just planted to see if it says anything about rolling. I need to figure out how to get organized, or else I'm gonna have to get another shed. It does need rolling. I'll check the other fields too. This one's taken care of. This one's taken care of too. It needs plowing though. I'm not going to plow it. Okay, let's get this lineman done. It shouldn't take but a minute. I'm a sucker for those lines. I think I'm going to try to avoid them this time. And this is not the field that needed it. Dang it. And I think we can see why I need the lines. I'm just not very good at it. Okay, let's roll this field. The only crop that we're not prepared to put in the ground this year is the corn. And somehow, if I'm able to come up with the money and purchase that grass field, then we can get corn started. And then the big purchases are going to come into play. And I am able to borrow enough money, or close to enough money, to get the cereal factory is $240,000. I think that's the only option. Well, unless I missed it, that's the only option for a cereal factory. I'll probably have to buy a piece of land to place it on. And this is the smallest cow barn. So that's $500,000 that I'm gonna have to borrow in order to get those two pieces. And the cereal factory is more important than the cow barn. The cow barn's just so I can make chocolate. It looks like the contracts are starting to come in. I'll spend this afternoon trying to make up some of the money that we spent today. I am going to clean up a bit before I get started on contracts. We got a new fancy sprayer unit. Kind of excited about this. We got the oats in the ground. We got to use our new seeder, although I didn't do a great job with it. I need to practice more without those silly lines. There's a pretty packed episode. If I decide that I really want to get the corn in the ground this year, I could plow up this wheat or cultivate up this wheat and plant the corn on this field here. And that way we'll at least have all the components. But it would be nice to purchase this field too. So we'll see how the next few months go. I do appreciate you coming out and spending some of your time with me here today. I thank you. And I hope you see me in the next one. Have a good day.